the channel. I currently have a heater going on in the background here, so hopefully you can hear me nice and clear. So today we are not out in the movies, but as such I am going to do a wee video demonstration on I don't know if I would call it a project, but it's something that I built a couple of years ago. So basically this video is just to keep the channel running, keep the content going until I put on better projects in the future. Haven't got time to do them at the minute, plus I'm waiting for the good weather. So this is a nice fancy hose reel that I built for my garage. It is all handcrafted. So basically what I do is I hang it on the wall, as simple as that, as such. Hang it on, screw it onto the wall, and I can hang my hoses on it, my extra hoses, as I have quite a few. But instead of putting the car rim on the wall or even a hose reel, there's one above us here, I needed this for the extra loose hoses that were lying about. I'm going to just show the demonstration here. So as you can see in the garage here, you have the proper hose reel, the retractable hose reel. But I also have 3 or 4 extra hoses at 20 meters long, which hang over this. They're for my air respiratory system, for my breathing. So there's a blue one for my breathing hose, and there's a red one for blasting. So this is basically what this is for. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the camera up and do a full walk around on this to demonstrate how it's put together. So I'm going to sit it on the car here without damaging the car. Okay, so without stopping the camera. Okay, so what you have here is multiple discs that are all tacked together behind, so there's nothing on the face. I don't know, what do I count them here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 discs. The discs are approximately, I don't know, 6 inches. So the reason I bought this is because, as I mentioned, for the hoses, but I like to go overboard with my projects. I like to think outside the box. So instead of putting an alloy car rim on the wall, which has no depth to where you can apply the amount of hoses you can hang on it, this is actually much deeper than an alloy wheel. I will turn it around in a wee minute. So you have 17 discs welded together. Each one of these discs is flattened with a dual action sander. Well, I get the sanders to demonstrate. So we have the dual action sander. So when I put this together, what I've done is I flattened the face nice to make it nice and smooth. So I didn't like the finish, so what I done then is I stamped each disc with a coarse grit rotary sander, which is this one. So this is spinning on a rotation. This one's dual action, so this gives you wee squiggles. So this wouldn't leave that effect, it's what you see here on the plates. So what I done is I put 80 grit into the rotary sander and I stamped it. Where do I put the camera in my other hand here? So what I done is I stamped each disc with 80 grit at an angle of approximately maybe 10 degrees off the plate itself. So I stamped it when I was going at full speed. Stamp, 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 stamp. That's why you see this nice nice fancy finish on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the camera on the stand and flip it over the body. Hold on. It's not the right way, is it? That's the right way. So over the body now, take it off the stand again. Don't want to drop the camera. Right. Okay, so this is the back of it. You can see the depth here. You have about 4 inches from the inner circle to here. This here is rolled on a wee manual roller, so you can roll that by hand if you want to build one of these. You don't want to use a car rim. It is all TIG welded at certain points at low amps, low current, so it doesn't burn through the other side. I probably used a heat sink at the other side anyway to keep it from burning the face of the plate. I also have it welded here on the outside. Each circle disc is welded on the outside. That's really it. So on the inside here you have these wee brackets. I should have probably polished this, but there's not really much point because it's the inside. But for the video, I should have probably cleaned it a wee bit better because you can see watermarks on it. I washed the dust off it yesterday. You can see wee brackets here that are tapped, and behind there are nuts on it for cosmetic looks. So you don't want to nothing there when you're looking in. No, I don't anyway. So you have the dome head nuts on a 90-degree brackets. The brackets are kept to the inside away from the hose. So there's 3 brackets. Each one of them is a 6mm, 7mm hole for a 6mm anchor bolt into the wall, thunderbolt or whatever. I'm now going to hang the hose reel on the wall. I'm going to demonstrate putting on 1 or 2 hoses, maybe 1 for the meantime, and that's it. So one final look at the other side of it before I move on till I put it on the wall. So as I say here, it's nothing complicated, but it's quite fancy for a hose reel. So up close here, I'll just give a wee swirl. Should have probably took it outside, but it's quite kind of very cold outside. So you can see the nice finish on it there. Right around each disc. There's about 15 to 20 stamps or swirl marks on it each disc. It's important when I was stamping this that I didn't hit the edge of the disc, as it would have looked awful. So what I'm going to do now, right, is I'm going to hang it on the wall when the camera's running. I'm not going to stop the camera because it's quite a short video. Okay. So I have nuts standby, nuts on standby, right. So keeping the swirls, on. Video's downhill a wee bit. So keeping the swirl effect to the top, so you're not putting them at an angle sort of. Well, it doesn't look right there. So what you want to do is keep the swirls all to the top direction. So basically that hose reel now is mounted to the wall. I'm just put a couple of nuts on it. I don't want it falling into my white car, so as I mentioned, I already have I mentioned thunderbolts or anchor bolts. I have, what do you call them, anchor bolts in the wall already, so I don't have to do that. So again, to get that fancy swirl marks that I have on it, as I flattened the stainless, I flattened all the brushed effect, the grain out of the stainless with the dual action, probably using 120 grit, 80 grit first and then 120, and move down the stages to probably as far as 240, 320 maybe, might have been 320 actually. Then I stamped it with the coarse 80 grit. Stamp, 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 stamp. Okay, I'm going to bring the hose on now. Hold on. Come in. Just an obstacle course in the skies. Right. So this is my breathing hose, I call it. And I keep it only for my breathing. my lungs. I have a proper filter system in the garage. On my compressor I have 2 filter systems, one for backup and the other. So, as I say, this hose is 20 meters long. I'm going to try and get it nice and neat here for the video. Let me see. So basically I have, that's all I do, like so. So, and this is, don't need to go into depth in this, but you're probably wondering, this hose has claw, high flow fittings on it, claw fittings. It's for my blaster and stuff too. My blaster, I have blasting hose there, I also hang on the wall. All my nice fancy hosiery. The reason I bought it so fancy is because, as I've mentioned, I don't like all this idea about car rim put on the wall. Because the car rim is designed for a wheel. There's the heater off now, probably hear me a lot clearer. So as I say, a car rim on a wall doesn't look right to me, it doesn't sit well in my head, so I just decided to build my own hose reel. For my nice fancy garage here, as you can see. As I mentioned, our 17 disc at approximately 7-inch diameter, all welded together behind. That's it, a really short video today. I'm going to bring the camera up close now and show a wee walk around of it hanging on the wall. So as you can see here, the depth behind you have plenty of room for, I don't know, another 4 hoses. So that hose is 20 meters long. I hang it with a big gap so it doesn't kink, and you know, I don't hang it tight, I just hang it so I can lift it off, so I don't have to unwind it against these edges here, which are quite sharp in the hose. Heater starting up again. So here you can see the wee brackets. I have just placed the bolts, the nuts on the wall, stainless nuts. Reason I stainless, because the hose rail is stainless. You don't want milestone nuts contaminating the stainless itself. We have a nice 90-degree bracket down the bottom as well with no nut on it. Let me see if I can get one here. So basically I need to tighten them. So there's 3 nuts. Obviously each one of the brackets is divided in 3 in the 360, 120 degrees out. That's really it. I can't really talk much more about it. I could probably put another hose on it, but I don't think so. That's a retractable hose, and that's my loose hose, 1/2 inch inside, high flow. So that's it. When I go back here and just give you a wee view of it hanging on the wall, so you can see there, it's not your usual hose reel. We'll go this side and give a wee demonstration of it. There you can see the nice swirl marks, the effect. Over the top as usual. But that's just the way it is with me. I like to do things different. So I'd like to say to finish this video off, the next video is going up will be off my van, and I then will be moving on to more complicated projects. Can't go on to any glove work, hand joint monitor and stuff, can't go on to that because I want to get nothing away. So that needs protected before I can release anything on YouTube. The other projects that I have built, one of them could be protected, but I'm putting it on to show it off. I don't really care. That's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope the heater wasn't over the top of me too much, the noise in it. I'm trying to speak loud here, so thank you for watching everybody, and enjoy the pictures at the end. Hey everyone, so I thought I would show this wee model that I drew, just to get an idea of the size the hose reel was going to be manufactured to before I started building it. So as you can see here, the model that I have drawn does not show the overlap disc effect or the layout, but what it does do is it shows the outer circumference, the outer diameter and inner diameter sizes, and as well as that inner tunnel. So basically I didn't draw the wee small brackets on it as I demonstrated in the video clip, but it's basically just to get a sort of an insight into what the hose reel was going to look like before I built it. Similar to all the other projects that I built, I sort of designed it first on software, 3D modeling software, then I build them. As I stated in the video, this is a very simple project, but it's nice and unique for a hose reel. That's it. Okay everyone, so the manufacturing process is very simple. It involved welding 17 plates together, approximately 6 to 7 inches. This is the inner circle being welded that supports the disc. The inner circle at this point is welded to the disc. You can see the tarnished effect there, the stainless. At this point it needed cleaned in the inside to remove all the burnt effect. At this point it was finished with brackets on the wall. As you can see, it's not stamped yet with the effect. It doesn't look as nice. At this point it's much nicer stamped. Demonstrated in the video there earlier. So this is it finished, and as you can see, the shed, well, the garage was not finished at this point. Thank you for watching everybody. Please don't forget to subscribe and like if you want to see more interesting projects. Bye bye.